Well, you said when you got locked up that you had to really reevaluate your life
I did.
and think about, whether you really loved your family
Absolutely.
because you're putting yourself in this position.
Exactly. I learned what love is. I say this shit every interview. I genuinely thought you can just love somebody just based on the way you feel about it. And I had to learn that that's not a fact. You know what I mean? Everything is an intention, but everything is an action. I learned that feeling that you get from love, that's just that's just a, a that's just a reply from that action. You get what I'm saying? That's all that is. So I realized like ain't no way I love my family, cause I'm in jail and I'm in a hole. I'm still in this bitch, moving goofy, crashing out pretty much like. So I couldn't love my family. If I love my family, then I gotta do what's right for them. I gotta put them first, put them before me. And I learned how to love them. I didn't know how to love them.
Well, you finally get out, and was it the whole 20 months you had to do?
Yeah, I done and did the whole 20 months because I went to the hole. See, like, and there, a year is only 10 months, right? So I had under 2 years pretty much. So I only really had to do like 17 months, but I ended up doing, no, I only had to do 15 months, but I ended up doing 18 because I went to the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you get out, and I guess while you're still in a halfway house, you end up signing the deal with Motown?
Yeah, with Motown Records. Did that shit in a halfway house. My manager, Chanel, she had to fly to LA to basically get the shit done because I was in a halfway house, obviously. But I did that, you know what I mean? At that point, it's just like, man, I need to get some money. Like, one thing I ain't about to do is go to the streets. I ain't, fuck that shit. I'd rather be dead broke before I do any of that shit. You heard?
Okay, and were you the first rapper to sign to Motown?
No, the first Detroit
I mean,
rapper.
Detroit rapper, that's
Yes,
what I
sir,
meant, yeah.
absolutely. I was the first Detroit rapper to sign with them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm thinking my life just about to change when I did that shit. Like, you got it in your mind, where being from, where we from, we just automatically feel like you go to the league, you rich, you there, you made it. You get a record deal, a major record deal, you made it. You know what I mean? But I learned that shit the hard way. That shit don't work nothing like that. You heard? I thought that shit was about to change everything about my life, but it just added more stress.
Okay, what do you mean by added more stress?
I mean, dealing with having to plot, like, you go by so many rules and just so much red tape and just so much nah, yeah, nah, yeah, nah, yeah. That shit just like, I can't do this shit. That shit gave me anxiety. Like, fuck this shit. Like, I'd rather do this shit on my own. I ain't gonna quit. I ain't gonna quit. I never quit. I ain't gonna quit ever. Fuck if I had one fan. I ain't quitting nothing. So it's just like, I just gotta figure out do this shit on my own, and it comes to a point where you bring business in your household, then that means you in the wrong kind of business. Motown did great business. My contract was good. That wasn't the problem. You get what I'm saying? It was just a miscommunication on how I need to be moved, or what I need to be doing, the type of music I like to put out. My target market. Everything was just a little confusing, and at a point, that shit started making its way into my household. So that's when I'm like, I can't do this. I gotta figure this shit out. I gotta cut ties and do this shit on my own. You know what I mean?
Well, you talked about, and I wasn't exactly sure what the situation was about, but at one point, while you were signed to Motown, you ended up getting banned from different stations and clubs, or?
No, not when I was signing. No, that happened back in 2013.
Okay, that happened before.
Yeah, with the
Okay.
whole shit downtown at Cobo Hall, I got banned from everywhere. I couldn't go nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you talked about violating probation. Was that from before or after?
I ain't. Nah, I'm well right now. Everything Gucci. I move
Okay.
like a boss. I move like a man. I'm standing
Got it.
on that business 10 toes. Like, I'm standing on my business. Like, I ain't ever worried
Yep.
about going to jail. Like, nigga, just move smart. I'm a boss. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Okay. Well, you ultimately, did you leave your deal with Motown, or did they drop you, or what exactly happened?
No, I left my deal. Well,
Okay.
I can't say left, like, you know, I don't want no artists be watching this shit think you just wake up and leave your deal. That shit don't work like that. I
Right.
asked, can I, you know, be let go out of my contract, and they made it happen for me. Like bosses, like, I appreciate that. That shit don't happen like that. Like, that's why it ain't nothing bad I can say about them folks. Like, we had a good contract. When it didn't work out, I asked to remove myself, and they let me do it.
Yeah, that's the way you handle it. You know, you don't
Yeah.
have to go and start bashing the label
Ain't
or
no
whatever
point.
else.
They ain't do nothing wrong to me.
Yeah.
All they did was try to help me. It just wasn't the kind of help I needed.
Right, because while you were on the label, that's when you had that Big Sean feature, and that song
Yeah.
that came out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you guys were signed on the same label.
Well,
Right.
technically, yeah, because Shine signed,
Yeah.
we Universal, right?
Was through Universal?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
right.
yeah,
It's part of the same
shit,
family.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, same umbrella.
Right, and you talked about how, like, you have an artist as Big Sean, and he's doing the single with you, and he's doing the music video with you, but that song doesn't end up getting as big as some of the songs you're doing with just other local
I
Detroit
knew that
artists.
shit wasn't gonna be big because the song was a good song. I just knew it wasn't gonna be it. We did a video the wrong way. We supposed to shoot that bitch in the hood. That's just how it supposed to went. Like, we both from the city. We gotta show Detroit. We in the motherfucking sky on a rope. Motherfucking snow's flying. All this type of silly ass shit. The video is fire. It just wasn't meant for that song. They got a nigga walking across a tightrope. Bunch of goofy ass shit, bro.
Right, and while you're on Motown, that's when the Clarity 6 mixtape came out.
Yeah, that bitch came out. That mixtape actually did decent. It did pretty good. It just, I wasn't feeling myself then though. Like, I had so many distractions. It's like, it's them phases in life. You know, you go from having distractions because shit, you know, maybe a person might be in the streets, they might be, you know, involved, and them be the distractions. Then you upgrade. So now my distractions is me learning how to be a better father, a better husband, you know, going about which way I need to raise my kids, and, you know, these bills and this approach in our future, college tuitions, you know, health insurance, life insurance, planning this shit out. It's like, you know, that next phase of my life has started at that time. You know what I mean? So those are my distractions.
Well,